Vaughan.
Hey,
Greg, how are you, sir?
I'm well, Drew. How are you?
Dude, I'm great. Thank you so much for joining us on the House of Hallowell, man.
And thank you all for having me.
He's just sitting there making fun of how many people I make out with on the show. Apparently, he was unaware that there was more than Leo.
Yes, just recapping on some episodes. It's like every time it's like you and Leo in the doorway, and then you and another dude. God, this girl, she has got her hands full.
The most unlikeliest of characters.
Yeah, you're such a goody girl.
Is she though? I don't know about this. The more I watch the show, the more I realize there's nothing goody about you. You're the sleeper. Like people sleep on Piper, the silent assassin, the one who's actually just the makeout bandit. Like I think you've made out with more people on the show than anyone else. If we had a makeout counter,
So far, but not in the end. In the end, it's definitely Phoebe, which, by the way, Phoebe looks to be neighbor Dan's love interest in this episode. So I don't know where it all went awry.
Handsome Dan, yeah, tell us everything. First of all, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us. We're so stoked to have you with us. What was it like coming on to Charmed? Did you know anything about the show before you got this role of Handsome Dan? Did they tell you anything about your character?
No, it was neighbor doorway Dan.
Doorway Dan.
Couldn't get in the door frame. The door was always being shut in my face.
You were too handsome to go inside the manor. It was just too much.
It was too much pretty for all of us.
Like the girls would have gotten in a cat fight, and then the show would have lost its way very quickly. Like your hair was billowing. It was a lot. There was a lot going on.
As I'm recapping with my mother last night, it's like blonde locks were just too much for me to bear anymore. Wow. I couldn't even grow facial hair back then. I think it just so much fun. Flashback. No, I guess at the time y'all had just done your first season, so and I was a part of the Spelling family, so coming over from like 90210 or Malibu Shores and all that stuff was kind of a leadway into that family, and I just was super excited to come on the show, and having not met Holly or Alyssa and Brian, it was just an embrace. A warm welcoming.
Were you aware of the show? Had you seen any of the episodes?
At that time, no. Not aware at all of the show, but I know I'm part of the WB back in that time frame. It was a very growing family. It was getting very popular. The girls definitely had made a first season, a successful season. So just getting on something like that was just the opportunity of where to go. I just fill my role and seeing what happens, and it happened.
Right. Do you remember? Was there an audition process, or was the role offered to you?
No, it was. They brought me in. It was a couple of guys that came in for the role. It was narrowed down fairly quickly. I think being in the Spelling community, the family there, it was just narrowing down to what was most realistic and opportunity. So I read for it, and then they thought it was just a good fit. And then I think the dynamic, the triangle opportunity between and narrowing Holly's, advantageous just efforts to get all her hands on all those boys, had to get minimized. So
I'm telling you, this episode, Phoebe's with your niece, and Phoebe saw you first, and all the things point to the other direction. The other direction.
I thought at first it was the Phoebe and the Dan, and then because the Leo and the Piper were kind of the thing, and then they just switched gears and went a different direction. I mean, it's been some time, so
I don't know why. I don't think any of us know why.
No, it just kind of happened.
Although there was this one report that said that you and Alyssa dated during that time, and I don't quite recall that.
Oh, that did not happen. We were all in a wonderful place that time. We all hung out great. I remember having a lot of fun going out on Halloween holiday parties or dinners, but no, we went.
Karaoke.
We did sing some karaoke. Those were times.
Oh yeah, I think I actually remember the song. Oh, I do.
I do.
People may not know this, but Greg's a pretty good karaoke singer.
In my early days, maybe. There was a lot of activities, partying, fun, drinking, at karaoke. I mean, they were just exciting times back then.
We're not here to talk about those stories, Drew. Moving on.
No, that's all we want to talk about. That's anyone. Listen, we need a ratings boost. Tell us everything.
It was so nice. I mean, I could hang out with two beautiful girls on my arm, walk a red carpet, and I was like, this is the greatest thing ever.
Yep.
I have made it.
Yeah, we wanted you to feel supported, so we were there.
Thank you very much.
You're going to come back on the show later in the season when things get hot and heavy, apparently, with my mother. But at this early stage, did they, when you first came on, did they tell you anything about the character or what they had in mind? Not so much love story, but just you in general. Did they give you anything to kind of build your character off of?
None. I have the privilege of knowing too much of anything. I just knew it was just I was just an asset to the an accessory to the show as girl-driven power. And I was very fortunate to, I think I did 20 out of the 22 that year. Those days are definitely changed, doing 22 to 24 episodes. I don't know how y'all did that. It was like 9 months of commitment and, a massive sacrifice. I mean, it was just who was showing up in what dually or who had a horse trailer. I was like the one and only Holly and her boot. And she had her stuff. I mean, the German birds, the domino fun. As far as like on the creative aspect, no, it was just a very harmonious set, just like getting to work and who was shooting what episode, new directors. So a lot of fun, and they did most of the hard work. I just came.
Did you feel like you were immediately embraced when you came on?
Oh, yeah.
Not in that way, Drew. We already established nobody dated nobody.
No, we did not establish officially. No one actually officially said anything of the sort. So, let's do a House of Howell exclusive right now. Turn the TikTok camera on. All right.
What was your character? Were you one of the family members there? Were you a long lost?
That's a great question.
Listen, right now, I don't know. I'm struggling.
Who's your daddy?
I have no idea who my dad is. Apparently, Brian is my father and Holly is my mother. But
that is yet to be established, by the way.
I am not so sure. After how many guys you keep making out with, I could have been anyone.
I have narrowed down the list for you.
Yeah, send it to me.
On a very special Jerry Springer. You are the daddy.
So Drew came on as our son from the future.
Correct. To save, and I came with a mission.
I thought y'all had a child. It was a daughter.
You have a daughter?
Supposed to happen. That look at Drew's face. No, that was supposed to happen. I don't think we got to that part. Yeah, we were supposed to have a daughter. I just didn't get pregnant again, apparently, on the show in time.
I need therapy. I'm questioning my existence right now. Greg, who did you make out with in real life? We already know who you made out with on the show.
No. Finish this sentence. I deserve a sex life that is what? Don't be afraid to say it. Dipsy can help you in new ways and sexy ways.
Is this a little bit of a love triangle that happens in season 2? Is that what I'm getting at?
I thought you wanted no spoilers. No spoilers, no spoilers, no spoilers. He's neighbor Dan. He's neighbor Dan. Now.
But also handsome Dan, maybe not the most intelligent Dan. What's going on with sanitary napkins instead of tampons, my guy? Like, that's really bad. Like, how can you're doing handsome people a real disservice? Like, that you just don't, a sanitary napkin?
He was just trying to help out.
Always. I had a tool belt, just move things around, help where I could.
Oh, you're a handyman as well?
Yes. I fix things. I help babies,
Can you not be so obvious?
No.
Laugh. She's so guilty.
And everything's fine.
Notice how Brian has just gone quiet.
Well, I was thinking about, I guess I'm thinking about the whole thing, like, yeah, how it started with Phoebe and stuff. And I remember Greg and I hanging out and kind of talking, I wasn't a regular on the show at the time at all. And I remember us kind of talking about, like, wait, we're starting to date each other, like the same girl. Like we wanted to be on the show together, right? Like we were hanging out. I was like, we need some guy, like we're outnumbered here. And, I think it was a surprise to both of us that they kind of pitted our characters eventually, going for the same girl. And it,
To me, it feels like they were just throwing guys in there to see who they thought had chemistry with who, which is not really a fair judgment or a testament to what really actually should have happened, would have happened. Because I think you both had really good chemistry with Alyssa.
Oh, God. Do not fall for this. Avoid that. No, don't say anything. Trust me. Trust me right now. Just smile and just go, yes.
It's fine.
Yes.
It's all water. And
yeah. I mean, she did, by the way, she did have her best tan on.
Alyssa did, yeah.
Yeah.
Full body.
Some things never change.
So wait, BK, that's actually a really interesting point because it's such a girl dominant show, obviously, and for good reason, but bringing someone on like Greg onto the show, like, did you guys instantly bond or like, hey,
Well, yeah, I mean, I wasn't even in the first few episodes. So, I don't know how much we really had the same scene together or not, but then we met each other on the set and it was bros for sure.
That's awesome.
I mean, I thought so.
Pretty much what BK said. It was just like, we were just in the mix of the girl storyline. And then I don't know, I think everything changed on a fly. I don't think anything was set. I think originally understanding and what I think we were talked about, that was Dan and Phoebe were supposed to really start. And then it got shifted. They felt that there was a triangle opportunity with Brian's character, Leo and Dan. So they thought it would be the battle. I assume. I mean,
I had nothing to do with it.
I think part of it is wanting to keep the Phoebe character, the young, not to get her in the relationship, something that might have come from the writer's room of, depicting each girl in a certain relationship. And that eventually kind of became their character.